Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're continuing on our series of category breakdowns at the upcoming Academy Awards, and in today's video, we're actually doing 3 categories. We're taking a look at the best short categories: documentary short, animated short, and live action short. And so for this category, because there are so many different films, we're looking at 15 of them in as opposed to just 5 in the regular category breakdowns. This video is going to be a little bit different than how we've done the previous videos in the series. In previous videos, I give you the nominees, a little bit of facts, and then and then we just talk about the film for a little bit. What we're going to do in this one, because we have so many films that we're covering, is I'm going to give you we're going to go category by category. I'll give you the nominees that are in the category, and then I will kind of tell you who they're the nominated individuals with it, and then I will read you the letterboxed synopsis, because chances are, again, this is another one where, like Documentary Yesterday, a lot of these films, there's a good chance maybe you haven't heard of any of these shorts. So I'll read the letterboxed, the synopsis of the film, and then I'm just going to read the quick little review that I wrote on Letterboxd for each of these films. And so we're just going to do that for all 15 of the categories, and then we're going to continue. We're still going to do what we've done in the previous, breakdown videos. Is at the end of each film, I'll give you my personal ranking for the film, and then my prediction for how likely I think it is that they win the Oscar on March 10th. So without further ado, let's take a look at the categories. Documentary shorts. The ABCs of Book Banning. Directed by Sheila Nevins and produced by Trish Adelsek. In recent years, more than 2,500 books have been removed from school districts around the U.S., labeled as banned, restricted, or challenged, and made unavailable to millions of students. By no accident, the themes targeted are the usual scapegoats of the American right: LGBTQ+ issues, black history, and women's empowerment, impeding the power of future generations to develop their own thoughts and opinions on critical social issues. By weaving together a lyrical montage of young readers and authors, the ABCs of Book Banning reveals the voices of the impacted parties and inspires hope for the future through the profound insights of inquisitive youthful minds. While the premise of kids sharing their feelings about banning books is nice thought, it didn't quite come together as well as I hoped. The highlight for me was the 100-year-old widow sharing her story at the town hall meetings that bookend the film. It's an important message about censorship, but could have been better put together. My personal rank for the ABCs of Book Banning is 5th, and my prediction is 3rd. The Barber of Little Rock. Directed and produced by John Hoffman and Christine Turner. Explores the racial wealth gap in America through the story of People Trust, a homegrown community bank in Little Rock, Arkansas, working to uplift a community that has been largely excluded from the financial engines that create wealth. The Barber of Little Rock is an important but frustrating story. It examines racism and prejudices in the banking industry that are forcing this community into situations they can't overcome. A good story of the fight for economic justice, but could have been crafted better. My personal rank for The Barber of Little Rock is 3rd, and my prediction is 2nd. Island in Between. Directed by S. Leo Chiang and produced by Gene Sine. The rural Taiwanese outer islands of Kinmen sit merely 2 miles off the coast of China. Kinmen attracts tourists for its remains from the 1949 Chinese Civil War. It also marks the front line for Taiwan in its escalating tension with China. Island in Between has some beautiful cinematography and a nice score at the end of the film. While the film is well made, it never really caught my interest. My personal rank of Island in Between is 4th, and my prediction is 5th. The Last Repair Shop. Directed and produced by Ben Proudfoot and Chris Bowers. In a warehouse in the heart of Los Angeles, a dwindling handful of devoted craftspeople maintain more than 80,000 student musical instruments, the largest remaining workshop in America of its kind. Meet 4 unforgettable characters whose broken and repaired lives have been dedicated to bringing so much more than music to school children of the city. From the same duo of the 2021 nominated short, A Concerto is a Conversation, comes another documentary showcasing the power of music. We hear stories from employees and customers of an instrument repair shop and how music has positively impacted their lives. A beautiful story that reminds us that if something is broken, it can be repaired. My personal rank for The Last Repair Shop is 2nd, and my prediction is 1st. Nai Nai and Waipo. Directed by Sean Wang and produced by Sam Davis. A multi-generational story celebrating director Sean Wang's 2 grandmothers, one on his father's side and one on his mother's side. Nai Nai and Waipo is a beautiful love letter to the filmmaker's grandmothers, a lot of fun and heartwarming moments from the film, but my favorite part is this quote from one of the grandmothers: "The days we spend feeling pain and the days we spend feeling joy are the same days spent, so I'm going to choose joy." My personal ranking for Nai Nai and Waipo is first, and my prediction is fourth. Best Animated Short. Letter to a Pig. Directed by Tal Cantor and produced by Amit Russell Geiselter. A Holocaust survivor reads a letter he wrote to the pig who saved his life. A young schoolgirl hears his testimony in class and sinks into a twisted dream where she confronts questions of identity, collective trauma, and the extremes of human nature. Letter to a Pig features black and white hand-drawn animation style that is combined with real body parts like hands, eyes, and mouths. The film has intense music and strong sound. It starts with an interesting premise that goes an entirely different direction with a strong metaphor with a titular pig. My personal ranking of Letter to a Pig is third, and my prediction is first. 95 Senses. Directed and produced by Jared Hess and Jerusha Hess. A heartfelt depiction of a man facing his own morality while reflecting on the grave mistakes of his youth. 95 Senses starts simple enough, but it twists into something profound and emotional, a nice surprise from Jared and Jerusha Hess that is different from their normal work. My personal ranking for 95 Senses is first, and my prediction is third. Our Uniform. Directed and produced by Yegang Mogdaham. An Iranian girl unfolds her school memories through the wrinkles and fabrics of her old uniform. She admits that she's nothing but a female, and explores the roots of this idea in her school years. Our Uniform is a coming-of-age story that has a unique visual style. The animation is displayed over the articles of clothing. Clothing may tell the stories of who we are, but at just 7 minutes, the film doesn't have enough time to go much further into the storyteller's life. My personal ranking of Our Uniform is fourth, and my prediction is also fourth. Pachyderm. Directed by Stephanie Clement and produced by Mark Ruiz. Like every summer, Louise stays at her grandparents' in the countryside for a few days during the holidays. It will snow at the height of summer, and a monster is going to die. Pachyderm features a beautiful paint animation style and exceptional sound design. It also has great narration from Krista Ture. While it's a fun watch, it didn't end up connecting on a deeper level for me. My personal ranking for Pachyderm is second, and my prediction is fifth. War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. Directed by Dave Mullins and produced by Brad Booker. Set in an alternate World War I reality where a senseless war rages on, two soldiers on opposite sides of the conflict play a joyful game of chess. A heroic carrier pigeon delivers the soldiers' chess moves over the battlefield as the fighting escalates. Neither soldier knows his opponent as the game and the war builds to its climactic final move. Whoever wins the game, one thing is for certain, there are no winners in war. While the story was very simple and underwhelming, the animation style is beautiful. The film also has a great score from Thomas Newman, which fills in for the lack of dialogue. The needle drop at the end should have been expected, but was still jarring. My personal rank for War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko, is fifth, and my prediction is second. Best Live Action Short. The After. Directed by Masan Harriman and produced by Nikki Bentham. After losing a family member to a violent crime, a shattered rideshare driver picks up a passenger that forces him to confront his grief. The After has a tragic premise and a heartbreaking final scene, but what's in between doesn't really land. David Oyelowo delivers a strong performance as a broken man. While the story isn't really complete, it very easily could be adapted to a feature-length film, which is often what wins in this category. My personal ranking for The After is fifth, and my prediction is second. Invincible. Directed by Vincent René Lortie and produced by Samuel Caron. Inspired by a true story, Invincible recounts the last 48 hours in the life of Marc-Antoine Bernet, a 14-year-old boy on a desperate quest for freedom. Out of all the nominees in this category, Invincible is the short I'd most want to see adapted into a feature-length film. The film is led by an amazing performance by Liakim Bermure-Lipine. It also has an emotional final shot that adds to the tragedy of the story. My personal ranking of Invincible is second, and my prediction is fourth. Night of Fortune. Directed by Lassie Leikstjernor and produced by Christian Orlik. The loss of a loved one, the grief, the risk of yellow skin, and a coffin, that is too much for Carl to face. Then it's much easier to fix a broken lamp. Carl meets Torben, a destined brother, an absurd, humorous, and melodic meeting between two old men captured by grief. Night of Fortune caught me off guard by how much I loved it. As someone who often has a hard time expressing emotions, this hit me hard. It's a very emotional short, with just the right amount of humor to make you love the characters more. There's phenomenal acting from Leif Andre and Jens Jorn Spotag. The film finishes with a beautiful final scene that left me in tears. My personal ranking for Night of Fortune is first, and my prediction is fifth. Red, White, and Blue, directed by Nazrin Kuduri and produced by Sarah McFarlane. A young mother from Arkansas is forced to travel across state lines in search of an urgent and necessary abortion. Red, White, and Blue starts as your traditional road trip abortion movie, which is absolutely saddening that has enough films to be considered a subgenre, but has an absolutely heart-shattering reveal that changes everything that you just watched. It isn't the most finished film, but that makes it another film in the category that could pretty easily be adapted into a feature-length film. My personal ranking for Red, White, and Blue is fourth, and my prediction is third. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, directed by Wes Anderson and produced by Stephen Rawls. A rich man learns about a guru who can see without using his eyes. He sets out to master the skill in order to cheat at gambling. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is a fun time if you're a fan of Wes Anderson's filmography, full of his stylish production design and his snappy dialogue. The film also has an all-star cast as far as short films go. I haven't seen the rest of Anderson's Roald Dahl Netflix films, but I expect you may like this even more if you watch all four. My personal ranking for The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is third, and my prediction is first. And that's it. Those are the best documentary, animated, and live-action short films that are nominated at the upcoming Academy Awards. Let me know down below in the comments which of films in each of these categories are you rooting for to win, and what films do you think are going to win. And then also, while you're down there, let me know of any other future categories that you want to see me break down next. Again, we're especially after just knocking out 3 right here in this video, we're getting really close to the end. We only have a handful of categories left, but let me know which ones you want to see me do next. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.